Kira had 28 minutes to erase her best friend. If she refused, she would lose the future potential score she had spent her entire childhood building. By midnight, every university, every apprenticeship, every government career, and every travel permit attached to that score would disappear. Her future would be rewritten before sunrise. Across the table, Minseo quietly pushed the deletion tablet toward her. Two choices glowed across the glass. Erase link, keep consequences. Signing would not erase 6 years of friendship. Kira would still remember meeting Minseo on the first day of school. She would remember birthdays, late-night conversations, shared secrets. Every memory would remain. Only the feelings attached to them would disappear. No warmth, no loyalty, no grief. She would remember loving Minseo without feeling that she ever had. The Ministry of Education called it emotional link correction. Students simply called it deletion. The cruelest part: Minseo already knew exactly what Kira would lose. She was the reason it was happening. In 2096, every friendship became part of a student's future potential score. Schools claimed the system protected children. It identified violent social groups before crimes happened, separated students from emotional manipulation, allowed victims of bullying to leave friendships without carrying years of fear afterward. The technology worked. Kira had watched one classmate return after his abusive friend group was deleted from his emotional network. He laughed again. He slept through the night. His mother thanked the school with tears in her eyes. That was why almost everyone supported the program. Sometimes, the dangerous friendship was real. But the same algorithm also decided something else: which children deserved the future. The stronger your score, the more opportunities society unlocked: housing, universities, research licenses, government careers, even permission to live in the cleaner districts. Your friendships became evidence of who you were becoming. The wrong friend could quietly lower everything. 3 days earlier, the school accused Minseo of stealing classified placement records, encrypted messages, unauthorized archive access, restricted student files. Because Kira was Minseo's closest friend, the algorithm concluded she had been influenced by a high-risk student. Her score dropped 31 points overnight, enough to destroy every future she had planned. Kira stared across the table. She wanted one answer. "Tell me you didn't do it." Minseo never lied. She simply nodded. The betrayal landed harder than the accusation. For 6 years, Minseo had shared every lunch she couldn't afford. She repaired Kira's secondhand uniform instead of buying her own. She stayed beside Kira's mother during surgery. She had become family long before either of them admitted it. She knew exactly what this score meant, and she destroyed it anyway. The counselor entered. The deletion process was ready. One sentence activated the implant. "I never loved this person." The words didn't need to be true. They simply told the implant which emotional pathway to disconnect. Afterward, Kira could stand beside Minseo for the rest of her life without feeling anything. The memories would survive. The friendship wouldn't. Kira demanded to see the stolen files. For several seconds, Minseo refused. Then she opened them. The first document looked ordinary: a placement chart. The second changed everything. Students living in 3 poorer residential towers had already been assigned failure probabilities before taking their entrance exams. The algorithm predicted they would never qualify for elite careers. Then it did something worse. Every friendship with those children reduced the scores of everyone connected to them. The school wasn't measuring harmful influence. It had decided certain children would fail, then used friendship itself to make the prediction come true. Every student who cared about them slowly became less valuable. Kira looked up. "You knew." Minseo nodded. "I found thousands of records." She copied the archive before it could be erased. But there was one problem. The school would quietly delete every file before investigators ever saw it. Unless someone forced an external review. Only one event automatically triggered that review. A top-ranked student refusing mandatory friendship deletion. Minseo hadn't chosen Kira because she was expendable. She had chosen her because she was the only student important enough to stop the school from hiding the evidence. You used me. I used the only door they couldn't lock. The counselor returned with 2 security officers. She calmly explained that deleting the friendship would also delete every trust signature connecting Kira to Minseo. The evidence would become legally contaminated. Without that trust chain, the stolen files could never be authenticated. The investigation would die before it began. Erase Minseo, and Kira kept her future. Refuse, and thousands of children might finally learn why theirs had been stolen. The room became impossibly quiet. Kira hated Minseo. She hated the counselor. Most of all, she hated the algorithm. It had taken 2 good choices. Protect yourself or protect everyone else, and turned them into enemies. 5 minutes remained. Kira rested her thumb over Erase Link. The tablet waited. 1 sentence. That was all. I never loved this person. She closed her eyes. She remembered the first lunch Minseo had split in half because Kira pretended she wasn't hungry. She remembered studying under broken hallway lights. She remembered every time Minseo believed in her before she believed in herself. Those memories deserved more than survival. They deserved to still matter. Kira lifted her thumb. I loved her. Silence. That's why your algorithm is wrong. The timer reached 0. Her future potential score disappeared. University admissions vanished. Career licenses dissolved. Housing priority dropped. Travel permits expired. Everything she had spent years earning disappeared from her record. Across the country, the placement archive froze. An external investigation began automatically. The weeks that followed were brutal. Kira watched classmates receive opportunities she had once been promised. Friends stopped calling. Teachers stopped recommending her. The algorithm had already decided what kind of future she deserved. Minseo waited outside school every afternoon. Sometimes they spoke, sometimes they didn't. Refusing deletion preserved the friendship. It didn't repair the betrayal. Months later, the investigation confirmed what Minseo had discovered. Hundreds of thousands of children had been quietly ranked before they ever took an exam. Entire neighborhoods had been written off by an equation pretending to measure potential. The scoring system was dismantled. No announcement restored the futures already taken. Kira never recovered the opportunities she had lost. But thousands of younger students grew up inside a world where their friendships were no longer treated as evidence against them. Years later, Kira was asked whether she regretted refusing the deletion. She looked at Minseo. Some betrayals never completely healed. Some friendships never returned to what they had been. But she had kept one thing no algorithm could calculate: the choice to decide for herself who was worth loving. Because the system believed the safest future was one where friendship could be edited. Kira discovered the opposite. Sometimes the people who hurt us are the same people willing to sacrifice everything to make the future better. So what would you have done? Would you erase the one friend who destroyed your future? Or lose everything to expose a system that had been quietly stealing everyone else's?